This, ladies and gentlemen, is an LED binary watch, and I'm going to show you a simple trick, a simple mod that will allow you to get your LED watch or binary LED watch to light up more evenly. So if you buy one of these or have one of these LED watches, now this method should work on watches like this that use LED dots of light, and this should also work for LED watches that display illuminated numbers. This should work for that. Digital numbers, kind of like your classic alarm clock. Um, they have where it's not a smartwatch per se, but when you tap the screen, you have sometimes it's usually red or blue numbers that will light up and tell you the time. Um, But this simple method is going to allow you to get the individual LEDs to glow evenly, because it may be hard to tell on camera, but these are much brighter in the center of the are much brighter in the center, and then they get dim. So you have these little rectangular windows that the light shines through, and those rectangular windows do not illuminate evenly. They glow much brighter in the center and get dimmer. And so it may be hard to tell on camera, but you can see that blue light. See how the blue light looks more white in the center? Right there, that blue light. But yeah, so real simple trick. This should work on just about any LED watch you have. Open up the watch. Now I put a little rubber gasket around here to make it more water resistant. They say these watches come water resistant, but mine, unfortunately, it leaks around the glass a little bit. The buttons seem to keep water out, but it gets a little bit of moisture, I think, through the glass. I wore this watch taking a shower recently just to see. Adding this to the back did make it more water resistant. Water couldn't get in from the back, but it still leaked from around the glass. So these aren't submergible underwater. Okay, so you're going to take, this is clear wax paper. It's slightly transparent. Using regular paper might dim your LEDs too much, and you want the LEDs to be as bright as possible so that you can read it during the daylight when you're outside. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of this wax paper the same size as my electronics. Damn, what the hell, dude? It's not wanting to cut right. Here we go. Man, okay. That's it. Now, we're going to place this inside the watch case. Okay. Now, there's many different styles of these binary watches. There's one that uses 2 rows of LED lights that are just one particular color. I chose this particular style because it has a ton of LED lights, and it has like 4 different colors, or 3: red, green, blue, yellow. So I like that this one lights up more colors. And being someone who's a fan of Back to the Future, this watch just reminds me of something like a watch that Doc Brown would wear in Back to the Future. So I got my wax paper cut to size. Okay. Now I'm going to put... Alright. Now I have here a thin little piece of foam. I find that helps the watch make contact with the buttons, the electronics. It holds it down so that both buttons can make contact. This also improves the look of the watch as well. Now you have these white squares. And there we go. Boom. Now you can see earlier, you could see that blue square had a white like spot in the middle. Now you can see everything lights up more evenly. I know it's kind of harder to tell, but if you look up this watch I may put a link in the description if I can find the original seller I bought this from. I bought this like 2 years ago. Shortly after I bought it, the battery went dead, so I never used it. I recently put a brand new battery in it, and this thing has been lasting a really long time. And so as far as how to read one of these, so this row here is your hours, 1 through 12. And these two bars here are your minutes. This is increments of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And this is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay. It also has a date function. So there's your time. This displays your date. And this is your week. And there's even an alarm function. But the alarm doesn't make a sound. It just illuminates the watch to a certain time. So if you set the watch to like 2:30, and I haven't quite figured it out yet because it didn't thoroughly go through the instructions. I didn't get instructions with this. I had to watch a YouTube video to figure out how to read this watch and set the time. This one didn't come with instructions, but I saw in a video that you can set a timer and the thing will stay lit when it reaches that certain time. So if you set it for 2:30 and you see that the watch is staying illuminated, I don't know how long it will stay illuminated for, but it stays on continuously for a short period of time as an alarm function. When you go, oh, it's time for me to take my medication or whatever it might be. But this doesn't have any sound. The alarm function just illuminates the watch. But yeah, that's just a simple, just using wax paper, guys, will illuminate, make the LEDs glow evenly throughout the entire window. So it's hard to tell on camera. But yeah, the LEDs now light up a lot more evenly. You can't see the little center dot of light like you could before. And yep, so that just improves the overall look. And this lets enough of the light through so that it's still pretty bright. This does have a brightness setting. It has 4 brightness levels. I got it turned up on its brightest level. Dimming the LEDs to the lowest level might save you on battery. And the lowest level is still plenty bright enough to read. Maybe it might be a little harder to read outside, but like when I'm out in the sunlight and I want to be able to see it, I just press the button and hold my hand over it. I will say this, it's a very cool watch, and it has like 2 different ways that it lights up. That's one way. And then when you push it again, it will do a scattered lighting effect. I think it lights up 3 different ways. See, so it has 3 different ways that it lights up when you press the button. That's one way, and I'll show you again. That's the scattered one where it just kind of flickers about. But anyways, pretty cool little novelty watch. Yeah, and that's just, so I like the way it does that. But yeah, that's a really cool watch. There is, however, one annoying factor, and that is the number. I do have to say, however, some of these numbers are very tiny and hard to read. They're and what I mean by they're hard to read because of the color. Some of the numbers, the white numbers can easily be read. There's blue and green numbers that are very hard to read. So when I'm trying to tell time on this, I can't go by the numbers unless I'm in really bright light. So I just have to count the number of LEDs I see. I have to count the number of LEDs. I can't really, unless I get up here towards the top, then I can easily tell what time it is as far as the hour. But I basically have to sit here because the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, the numbers are very hard to read that are printed on here. Because they should have made the numbers clear and had the numbers light up where you could see them. But other than that, this is a pretty cool watch. Like I said, this was 20 bucks on Amazon. I got it a few years ago. I just, it only ran for about 3 days and then the battery went dead. So I never replaced the battery until recently. And then I put a new battery in and this thing's working great. This new battery actually makes it glow brighter than the one that was in it. And I just wanted to show you a simple way that you could make these light up more evenly just using wax paper. This should work on most LED binary watches or LED watches in general where that have like a spot that looks a little dim. This should diffuse the light well enough. Wonder if this would work to diffuse the light in a lightsaber blade for baselit lightsabers. Don't know. But yeah, these are cool little novelty watch. If you know, I like how it flickers like that. Kind of reminds me of something from Back to the Future. You know, 80s neon, lava lamps. I've always been into that sort of thing. So yeah, pretty cool watch. These are about 20 bucks on Amazon. But I just wanted to show you this watch. Do a little, show you a simple mod you could do to make the LED lights. I know it's hard to tell that they're lighting up more evenly, but they are. So it just improves the overall look of the watch. So anyways, that's it, guys. I hope you like this little tip that I showed you. This should wax paper trick should work on making any LED watch illuminate more evenly. Some of these binary watches, instead of having little squares that light up, they have numbers and the light shows through and illuminates numbers. They have one that looks like a race car speedometer, which looks kind of cool. But yeah, fun little watch. They're cheap. Not really water resistant like they say. So it'll resist light splashes. But I submerged this underwater and it did leak slightly, even though I put a gasket around the back plate, which does keep the water out from the back, but it appears to be leaking from around the glass. The buttons don't get any water in it. The buttons were dry as a bone when I took the watch out after wearing it in the shower, so it appeared that it's leaking through the glass. So I don't know if there's any way that you could waterproof it from the inside around the glass and make one completely water resistant. But I mean, I don't see why you would want to wear this swimming anyway. But anyways, that's it. That's a really cool binary watch and a little mod you could do to make these things light up more evenly. Now, as far as how long the battery will last in these, I don't know. When I first got this, the battery that was in it went dead in less than a week. But it was probably because it had been sitting around in storage for a long time. And they always come with cheap Chinese batteries. Or just cheap batteries in general. Quality batteries. So I put a Energizer brand battery in this thing. I think Energizer is made by China, but they're a much better quality battery. And putting a better quality battery, this thing has been running continuously for a month now. So we'll see how long it lasts. I'm going to try to wear this for another few months just to see how long this battery will last. And I may do an update. But anyways, that's it, guys. That's my LED binary watch. Kind of a fun little novelty watch. And they do keep accurate time, as I said earlier. They keep accurate time as well as a digital or quartz. So anyways, peace out, guys. Have a great day.